Hey there, you amazing humans. I'm Colin Powell, and welcome to this video. I'm going to give you a quick tour of my new business operating system and also share with you some of my processes for leveraging systems to turn your team into an unstoppable and self-managing machine that grows your business even while you're away. And let me just start by saying I'm not here to prove anything or convince you of anything. I simply want to share with you what's working for me and my clients in hopes that you get some insights that you can implement in your business and your team. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a simple invitation that if you want a deeper demo of this business system or want my help with implementing these systems and processes, then you can definitely take advantage of that. And if not, that's all good. I still hope this video is helpful for you and your team. All right, so if you're new to my world and you don't know who I am, real quickly, prior to being in the online business space, I was a former Buddhist monk for 7 years. And this chapter of my life taught me a lot of skills around understanding people, behavioral patterns, and mindset, and how it all ties in with the way we work and the way we operate. And so I bring a lot of this into the way that I design my systems for team management. Right. I started my first business in 2016, an education company teaching mindfulness and emotional intelligence to corporate teams. Right. I built up a team of facilitators and we taught workshops to over 60 companies, including Microsoft, Deloitte, Lululemon, and so on. And then I burned out. I burned out from that business because I didn't know how to build proper systems and to leverage team effectively. And so I moved on and co-built a second business I helped grow it to 2 million in less than 2 years. We were a business consulting agency helping coaches, consultants, and experts scale their business from 6 to 7 figures and even a few to 8 figures. And through my time there, I realized there was a huge gap in the industry. Right? Everyone was focused on scaling through marketing and sales, right? It was all about how to get more leads, how to get more clients, right? And no one was really talking about how to scale sustainably through operations, systems, and teams, right? And so this led me to building my third business now. And it's focused exactly on that, right? How to build better systems, how to build better teams in order to scale predictably and sustainably. And so over the last 3 years, I've been working on building a business system that ties in all of the fundamentals. And I wanted to make it really easy and really fast for my clients to implement it. Right. And that's what you're looking at right here on the screen right now. Right. So this is the business OS, the business operating system. And you're looking at the company hub and dashboards view that you and your team would see. Right. And then there's the backend database side of it, which stores all the data and information. Right? And you'll see that all here. The KPIs, tracking, all of that is where all the data gets stored and that feeds it into the database, the dashboard view of things. So all of this is built on Airtable and it's all templatized for easy and quick implementation. But before I give you a tour of the business OS, I want to share some of the fundamental frameworks and principles that this system is designed around. Right? There's a lot of intention and strategy behind the way that this system was built. Let me just pull up my slides here. So if you're running a coaching, a consulting, or a service-based business, you probably notice that as you scale your business and your team, the more people you add to your team, the noisier and messier communication and management becomes. Right? The team becomes less productive and organized. Communication gets messy. Deadlines get missed. There are poor handoffs and so on. Right? And when things get messy and noisy, accountability gets weak as well. Right? This is where systems come in. Right? Systems create what I like to call operational excellence. Right? And so operational excellence is on one hand team efficiency, and on the other hand team effectiveness. Right? Efficiency creates momentum and it reduces costs, which leads to higher profit margins. Effectiveness creates consistent results and it increases team motivation, right? Which leads to more revenue and growth. Right? So you want both team efficiency and team effectiveness. Right? So I want to share with you my framework for operational excellence. I call this the 3 Ps of operational excellence because everyone loves frameworks, right? So 3 Ps are people, planning, and process. Right? And so each of these need to have their own well-designed system that all comes together to create your business OS, right? Your business operating system. And here's the thing. Every business has a business OS, right? It doesn't matter if you're a new business, a growing one, or a scaled up one, you have a business OS. The question is your business OS creating team efficiency and effectiveness, Or is it just creating more noise, more pressure, and more overwhelm for you and your team? Right? And so I want to share with you what's needed to create a true business operating system. Right? So let's dive into the first one, which is your people system. Right? Your people system needs to have three components: role clarity, communication, and accountability. Right? Role clarity is all about clearly defining everyone's roles, responsibilities, what their key results that they're expected to achieve. Right? And if that's not clear to you and everyone on your team who is responsible for what and who owns what, then you can't really hold your team accountable to excellence. Right? Role clarity means having an accountability chart and role scorecards for everyone that clearly outlines who is responsible for what and who's holding who accountable. Right? If you're the one holding everyone accountable, then you're going to ultimately end up be the bottleneck for your team. So second thing is communication, right? And it's exactly as it sounds, how your team communicates, both internally and externally, right? Internal communication is how they communicate amongst each other, right? Like meetings, assigning tasks, solving problems, right? And external communication is how they communicate to your clients, partners, and vendors. And so the more people you have on your team, the more communication points there are, which means the noisier things will get and the easier it is for poor handoffs, missed deadlines, dropped balls, right? Uncommunicated expectations, right? Or you have people working on low priority things while thinking everything is urgent and important. Right? So it's important to have an effective communication system, right? And this includes how you do meetings, how you keep everyone laser focused on the priorities, and it's also how you resolve issues and make decisions faster and better as a team. Third thing, accountability, right? And accountability, that's how your team holds each other accountable to getting results and supporting each other when there are issues and blockers, right? This looks like setting up a very good system for effective one-on-ones and performance check-ins, right? Now, I'm not just talking about any one-on-ones. I mean, effectively holding people accountable to their real scorecards and achieving what's expected of them, right? And most importantly, it's creating a line of communication and visibility all the way up to you, right? Because the more people you have on your team, the further you're going to be from what's going on in your business and in your team, right? And so a really good business OS will allow you to have that full visibility without needing to be involved with everyone on your team all the time, right? And I'm going to show you what all of this looks like as a system in the business OS in a bit here. Right. And so second thing here is your planning system. So your planning system needs to have three components, which is your North Star, your OKRs, and your data, right? North Star is your company's vision, mission, values, goals, right? And it also includes what your offers are and what who your ICPs, your ideal client profiles are. Right? And all of that needs to be clear and it needs to be communicated in a way where everyone on your team knows what they are. And it also needs to live somewhere where it's easy to access. So that way your team is always clear on what your business's North Star is. Right. So your OKRs, right? Those OKRs it's a framework used to clarify and also manage your quarterly objectives, right? This is your team's strategy and game plan each and every quarter, right? That's designed to move you closer and closer and closer to hitting your yearly goals and achieving your vision, right? OKRs are the top priorities of your team, and they need to be organized in a way that everyone is held accountable to accomplishing them each quarter. Right? They need to be systematized from company level OKRs down to the team level OKRs. And then it needs to be clear how each person is contributing to those OKRs. Right? Third thing, your data system. This is your KPIs, right? What's being tracked? Where is it being tracked? And how are they being organized in a way that allows your team to have full visibility in order to make data-driven decisions in their roles? Right? And again, I'll show you all of what this looks like in the business OS in a bit here. And so third component here is your process system, right? And that needs to have three components as well, which is your value process maps, documentation, and your knowledge base. Value process maps or business process maps is visually outlined step by step exactly how your business operates and creates value. Right? This includes how your business gets leads, converts them into customers and clients, get clients results, and then retains or ascends them to keep working with you in your business. And so visually mapping everything out allows you to assign clear ownership to each key function of the process. And it allows you to see what can be automated, what can be systematized better. And once you created your value process maps, you then want to create SOPs and documentation for each of the key functions, right? Not for everything, just the key functions. That way there's consistency in the way your business operates. Right. And then you want to organize all those SOPs into a knowledge base where it's easy for your team to find everything. Right. This creates predictability in execution, but it also eliminates risk. Right. If any member of your team gets injured or leaves today, you're going to be able to fill that gap quickly, or someone else is going to be able to jump in and keep the business operating without interruption. Right. So there it is. That's the 3 Ps of operational excellence at a very, very high level. When you're working with me, we'll dive into each of these components more deeply and build systems around each of them, and then train the team to adopt those systems. All right, so let's dive into what you all have been waiting for, which is what does the business OS looks like? All right, so let me just switch that over. So let's start from the top here, right? Top here, you have your North Star, and this is where you are tracking and storing all the important information around your company's North Star, right? From your client-centric mission, your visions, all the way down to your goals, right? You have your values here, right? What are each of your core values, the descriptions, and an example of them. That way everyone on your team understands, right, what it actually means to embody those core values. You have your client ideal profiles, breaking down a description of each of your avatars, right? And you can click into here, and I've added in the typical avatar clarity questions. That way you can get really clear on each of your ICPs, and it makes it easy for your team to go through this and really learn and really understand each of your ICPs. You got your offers, same thing here. You have all the details of each of your offers, from pricing all the way to just offer clarity, what's included in each of your offers, right? You have your value process here, which breaks down each of your value processes, who owns them, who contributes to them, what KPIs are being tracked in each of them, right? And then a link to the actual visual representation of that value process map, which let me just show you what that looks like here, right? Visually outlining step by step what goes on in each of the process, who owns it, right? What are all the decision points? What happens based on each of the decision points? You want to make sure that that's super clear. It makes it really easy to train new team members as well on how your business operates, what actually goes on, what happens, and when and where. So that's the North Star. Come down into here, you have your execution segment of your business OS. And this is where your team comes together and tracks, manages execution on a day-to-day basis. Right, you have your OKRs dashboard. You can see clearly here how many OKRs are on track, which ones are at risk, which ones are off track. Right, and here everything is all stored here, all editable by your team. That way you can pull this up in meetings, you can review it, and you can discuss, which ones are off track and what needs to be done to move each of these OKRs back on track. You have your task list here, tracks, all of your tasks. This is task management. You'll be able to see really easily how many you have in overdue, right? We make it an important rule on our team that we try to eliminate as many overdue tasks as quickly as possible, right? You'll be able to see how many tasks are due today and upcoming tasks that are due as well. You'll be able to add in the urgency and the importance of each of these tasks. And you'll also be able to link each task to their specific OKRs if they are related to an OKR. This is important because this allows your team to really understand which tasks have high priority over which the tasks that are low priorities, right? If it's a task tied to an OKR, obviously it's going to be a higher priority because OKRs are the highest priorities of your team. You'll be able to link them to different issues and different meetings as well. That way everyone can see where these tasks were assigned and where they came from. So if you go into here, you have your issues list. This is where your team tracks and logs all the issues that get surfaced, right? And you'll be able to see how many issues are left unresolved, how many are in discussion, and how many are in action. Right in here, I've even broken down a clear process for submitting issues. So if anyone on your team has an issue, they can submit this, but submit it in a way that's more proactive, right? You want people to be proactive with the way that they're surfacing issues, right? They're not just coming to the team or coming to you with problems, but they're coming to you with context around what caused the problem, Here are some ideas of proposed solutions and even a context Loom video that they can provide there. And that way it's easier to discuss and come up with the solutions of it, right? Decision makers can be assigned for each of these issues. That way a decision can be made quicker, faster, and more effectively. Each team here can have their own dashboard, which then pulls specifically that team's OKRs as well as that team's tasks, right? That way each team has a dashboard that they can work in. Right, so client success team will have their own, operations team will have their own, and marketing team will have their own. So in the next segment here, you have meetings where you're tracking and logging all of the meetings that your team is having. Right, and so on the leadership team meetings here, you can open this up. There's an agenda provided in here as well. So getting clear on the logistics, like who's leading the meeting, participants, Zoom link, all of that. And then there's a meeting agenda here that's provided that team members can go in here and add in their updates prior to the meeting. That way you can hop into this meeting and quickly go through and really just discuss the key decision points of what needs to happen rather than using the entire meeting to provide updates. And so you'll have agendas in here for company all hands, ad hoc meetings, as well as quarterly reviews and quarterly planning. Right, agendas are all provided in here as well. That way people can provide their updates. You can go in and you can start doing the quarterly reviewing right away. And same with the quarterly planning to come up with your OKRs. Then we have the KPI dashboards where each team will have their own dashboard tracking all the metrics that are important to each team. All right, and so you can go in here, you'll see month to month KPIs for operations, marketing team. The sales team will have their own as well with a team leaderboard. That way you can see who's bringing in the most sales, who's converting the most. Same thing with your sales setters, client success. Obviously, all of this can be customized and tailored to your specific business. Coming down to here, we have client management section where we're tracking the progress and the status of each of your clients. Right, all your clients will be logged here. You'll be able to see how many active clients you have, how many have ascended, how many are in the onboarding phase, how many are at risk, and how many have canceled, right? You'll be able to track in here all the notes for each of the clients in here, their payment status, if they've completed onboarding, how many milestones they have accomplished, all of that. All of this can be customized, of course, to so that it's specific and tailored to your specific offer. All right, we have a call attendance tracker in here. That way you can see how many calls that your clients are attending. All of that's in here. We have a payment tracker as well. That way you can track payment plans. You can see how many are active, how many are failed. This can all be integrated with your payment processor like Stripe, for example. That way if there are any failed payments, that gets logged into here and someone can be on top of reconciling that. And down here you have your team hub, right? So this is the accountability chart with role scorecards for everyone on your team. That way you can click into them. You'll be able to see their areas of responsibility, what results KPIs they're responsible for, their requirements to be an A player in this role. It'll be linked to all the OKRs that they're responsible for or contributing to. Also all the value process they're responsible for and contributing to as well. You have your knowledge base on this side where all of your SOPs are logged, all of your company policies, documents, any important company documents can be tracked here. Your value process is logged here as well. That way it just makes it easier, a one place for training any new team members that you onboard. It's easy for them to go through this and really understand how the business operates, who's responsible and contributing to each of the value process, the different KPIs that are being measured, and then of course the actual visual map of the process. You can have their own individual dashboard as well, right? And so here's an example of, a CEO dashboard where they can go in and you can see this, the CEO's role scorecard, the value processes that they're responsible for or contributing to, specific KPIs that role wants to see day over day, week over week, month over month. Right, going down to their specific OKRs and then down to their tasks. That way they can just log into here every day and see, okay, what am I focusing on? What are my priorities for today? What needs to be done? And then down here, you have your one-on-one meetings too, which gets logged and tracked, your one-on-one meetings, as well as any one-on-ones with your direct reports, right? So I can quickly go in here and see which one-on-ones are coming up, and I can go in here, open this up. This opens up the agenda. So that way the person I'm doing my direct report is responsible for coming in here and filling in their updates. There's a section in here for me to provide my review and my feedback, right? And all their OKRs linked here, their role scorecards linked here as well. So it just makes it easier for us to pull up this document and to have that one-on-one with them and review that with them. So everyone on the team would have their own individual dashboard that's private to just them and perhaps their manager as well. All of that can be customized. So yeah, this is it. Right? This is the 3 Ps of operational excellence. This is a quick overview of the business OS and how to implement those 3 Ps. And so if you're watching this video and you're intrigued by my systems, my processes, and if you'd like a deeper dive demo of the business OS, or you want to chat with me about what it would look like to get support on implementing these systems in your and if you're not ready, all good. You can always just follow along with me and check out more of my content. I'll share some additional resources below as well. Thank you for watching this video. Your time, your attention is greatly appreciated. So for those ready, grab time to chat with me. I'm stoked to see how this business OS can transform your business and your team. And for everyone else, I look forward to seeing you again. Peace.